yogis, welcome back to your mats. My name's Teri. Today I'm here with you for a new moon flow. So today we are realigning, releasing, reconnecting for our yoga flow. My puppies might be a little more adventurous today, so hopefully they won't interrupt. If they do, probably start and stop over. That's Ellie. She's my yogi puppy. She's pretty good. So for today's practice, a block. I always recommend blocks for practice, or something that's like a block. Book works great. If you have a water bottle, anything like that will work just fine. And then I would have a pillow, a couple pillows, or if you by chance have a bolster in your home practice, that's great. Or even a blanket that you can fold up that acts kind of like a bolster. So if you have a blanket, that works great, or a couple pillows. That's really for our end today, and a recommended shavasana, supported shavasana. So grab props, and I'll meet you on your mats for our new moon, because we have a new moon coming up, new moon flow. So today we're going to start in shavasana. So coming onto our backs. Laying back down, taking up space, just breathing, connecting with breath, reconnecting, feeling the earth below as we turn our awareness to that around us, feeling the breath move within. Noticing where our body connects with the yoga mat or our floor. And just starting to connect with our breath, reconnect with breath, reconnect with self. And just easing into our shavasana, our starting shavasana. With the new moon, it allows us to kind of release anything maybe we're holding on to that's not serving us. I've got plenty. Things that are unknown right now. Added stress. Added expectations. Take one more breath as you're reconnecting in, feeling your lungs fill up full. Take a little extra sip at the top. And then open mouth, exhale. Contracting everything in. And then we're going to take banana asana. So bringing your heels out, feet out to the right side of your mat. And if it serves you, crossing that left ankle over your right. Bringing arms overhead towards the right side of your mat and creating kind of a crescent moon or a banana shape, just very gently. And sending breath all along the left side of your body. Feeling your ribs open up, creating a bit extra space for your lungs to expand. All the way from your armpit down to your hip. Nice and gentle. Take one more breath here. Open mouth, exhale. And gently walk everything back through the center. And then over to the left side of your mat. Left heel over, maybe the right heel comes up and crosses over the right ankle or the left ankle. Arms shift over to the left side of your mat, creating length and space along the right side of your body. Opening up your ribs, space to send breath. Lungs fill in deeply. Feeling the expanse. The space your breath creates. Letting it fill all the way up to the top. Open mouth, exhale. And gently come back into the center. And then bring your arms back down to the sides. And then bring your knees, so your soles of your feet are on the mat. Kind of like if you were setting up for bridge, but we're not doing bridges here. And maybe walk your feet out to the sides so you can feel the edges of your mat. And gently, just gently windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Just starting to warm everything up. We're going to do a gentle wind relieving pose here at the start. So extend your left leg long, bringing your right knee in towards you, interlacing your hands over that knee, and then just real gentle. We're not doing a huge compression with this one here. So on an inhale, let your arms extend long, and exhale, just gently bring them in towards you. We'll kind of do this with breath. Inhale. And exhale. A little more compression on the exhale. Inhale. Kind of like an accordion. If this hurts in any way, just hold still. One more. Exhale it in and hold here just for a beat and a really light compression. Knee towards your shoulder. Just for another breath. And extend that right knee long, bringing in your left knee, hands over that knee. Inhale, lengthen your arms long. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the shoulder, just real gentle. Inhale. Exhale. Just real gentle with your breath. No. He's apparently giving cues now. Oliver, outside. And inhale, on the exhale, bring your knee in towards the outside shoulder. And just breathe into this space, a real gentle compression. Extending your left leg long, and then bringing both knees in, wrapping your arms around, or just holding with your hands, whatever works is accessible for you today. Keeping your feet parallel, so don't cross your ankles over, but keeping your feet parallel. Again, a real gentle compression, and keeping your back of your neck long, that cervical spine long, so head is still on the mat, and you're gazing down the front side of your body, and breathing here. One more breath here. And then go ahead and bring your hands behind your knees and do a few spinal rolls up. And if this does not work for you, you can also roll onto your side and then come up that way. And we're going to come up into tabletop. So finding a solid tabletop, hips over knees, toes untucked, shoulders over wrists, core engaged, pushing the mat away. And just take a breath here, finding the solidity of the pose in the floor below you. And then extend your right arm long, keeping your gaze down and forward, bringing your left leg behind you. Take a breath here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bringing knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. One more. Exhale, knee to elbow. Setting your arm back down, extending that left leg long, feeling a calf stretch. Breathe into that back leg. Outside. Now, crossing it over. Sorry about that. Gazing over your right shoulder towards that crossed over heel. And bringing it back to tabletop. Taking a few cat-cows. Inhale, dropping your belly, chest lifted, gaze up. Exhale, rounding your spine, gaze back. Into cow. Sorry, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, into cat. Inhale. And press it away. Coming back into tabletop. Extending your left arm long, gaze down and forward. Bringing that right leg behind you. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, tuck it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tuck it in. Planting that left arm down. Extending that right leg long and feeling the stretch along that back calf. Pressing into the mat. Taking one more breath here. Crossing it over. Gazing towards that right heel over your left shoulder. Then come back into tabletop and take a couple more cat-cow movements, or whatever movements you like to do here to warm up for your practice today. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming back into tabletop. Knees wide, toes together, press back into child's pose. Reconnecting with the earth, with your mat, and with yourself. Releasing those expectations. Maybe releasing any expectations you have for your practice today and letting it be what it is. Expanding the breath along the back side of your body, from your shoulders all the way to the back of your hips. Breathing deeply, open mouth, exhale out, steam up your mat. Inhale, come forward into tabletop, tucking your toes, hips high, pressing firmly into the mat and coming into downward facing dog. Maybe walking your dog. Any movements here as you come into your first downward facing dog of the day. Keeping those knees bent. Your fingers spread wide. Finger pads pressing firmly into the earth. Pressing away. Hips lifted high. Your heels are just starting to work their way down towards the earth. They may never get there. Knees gently bent. Core engaged, chest towards your thighs. Find some stillness. Inhale, lift up on your toes. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, heels lift up. Exhale, heels down. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, gaze at the top of the mat. Gently walk or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, extended mountain. Hands at heart center. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and come into a high plank. Holding your high plank here, setting up a strong, solid high plank. Pushing the mat away, legs engaged, core engaged, legs energized. Hold here one more time. And then gently step your feet out to the width of your mat and slowly allow your hips and knees and legs to melt towards the earth, pressing the mat away. Inhale, chest lifted. Exhale, press back into child's pose. Just for an exhale. Come forward through tabletop. Press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze or step. Walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And heart center. Inhale, extended mountain. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, step back. Step into a wide high plank. Hold for a breath. Exhale, lower down. Modified up dog. Exhale, press back into child's pose. Inhale into tabletop. Tucking your toes. Press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up, extended mountain. Hands at heart center. Extended mountain. Sending all that energy down to the base of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Planting your hands, step back into that wide high plank. Pressing the mat away. Lowering your hips. Gazing forward. Lengthening up. Pressing back into child's pose. Stay for one breath. Coming through tabletop, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Gaze at the top of the mat, step or gently walk to the top. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands at heart center. I'm going to turn towards you for this next part. From hands at heart center, inhale up to extended mountain. Interlace your fingers and release your pointer finger. Lengthen up. Exhale over to the left. Half moon. Hips are moving away from the top of your body, your torso, for counterbalance. Pressing away. Creating a half moon. Giving everything in one plane. One more breath here. Inhale, rise all the way up. Relax your shoulders for a breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, over to the right. Hips to the left. One more breath. Finding length. So you're not dropping into that and crunching this part of your body, but you're lengthening up and out, like you're going over a ball. One more breath here. Inhale, rise all the way up. You can leave your hands clasped, or if you want to, open them up. Your feet can remain together. If you want them hips width apart, that is your choice. Inhale, gaze up, small back bend. Maybe just gaze towards your thumbs. One more breath here. Exhale, come back forward. Bringing your arms out to the sides like angel wings. Bring your shoulder blades back towards you. Inhale, lift your chest up. Head back only if it's okay for your neck. Chest lifted. This is about lengthening up. One more breath. Inhale, come back up. Releasing your arms down. And go ahead and roll your neck out from side to side very gently. And then go ahead and bring your hands behind you like you're tucking them in the back parts of your pockets. Elbows pressing towards one another. Pressing your hips forward, gazing forward, lifting your chest up, supported back bend. Inhale, gazing up, gaze back bend to your degree. One more breath here. And then carefully come back up and out. And if your feet are together, split them so they're hips width apart. Fingers on your hips. Gently bend in your knees and slowly descend down into a forward fold. Releasing your arms, coming into a ragdoll. You can leave your arms just reaching towards the mat. You can do elbow to elbow, whatever feels best to you. Your knees still slightly bent in this forward fold ragdoll, releasing your neck down. We hold it up a lot, and a lot of times when we're in forward fold or ragdoll, we're doing this. We're gazing down towards the mat. Gaze behind you. This releases your neck fully. You can do a kind of some yeses and nos. Just allow the back side of the legs to release. Allow almost like you have water dripping off the back of down your back, off your neck. Take another breath here. Planting your hands, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, planting your hands, stepping back and taking your flow. So I showed you one, which is a modified up dog type of flow. You can also drop your knees, bringing your chest down, chin down, belly down. Inhale to cobra, exhale down, back through tabletop, and downward facing dog. Finding your downward facing dog. Bring your feet out just a little bit wider, hands back a bit, so kind of a short, wide dog. And from here, bring your left hand towards the outer part of your right leg and do a gentle twist. Twisted downward facing dog. Just for a breath. Real gentle. You might also be up here. Wherever you can reach is fine with this. It's your yoga. Modify any of these poses to serve you. Replace the left hand down. Take your right hand to your left leg. Shin, thigh, gazing underneath that left arm. One more breath. And then coming back into your downward facing dog. Your normal stance for downward facing dog. And then the next one I'm going to show you, and then we're going to do a couple of them. So you're going to roll forward into high plank. You're going to bring your feet a little bit closer together. And these are called twisted turbo dogs. So you're going to drop to the side, bend in, gaze forward, back into high plank, twist the other side, bend back towards your heels, hips to heels, back to high plank, and downward facing dog. We're going to just do 3 sets of those, I promise, our twisted turbo dogs. All right, so take an inhale here. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, roll forward to high plank. Drop to the right, hips to heels, gaze forward. Come back to high plank, drop to the left, hips to heels, back to high plank, and downward facing dog. Doing great. Roll forward, high plank, drop to the right, hips to heels, come back to high plank, drop to the left, hips to heels, come back to high plank, and downward facing dog. One more, you got this. Roll forward, high plank, drop to the right, hips to heels, back to high plank, drop to the left, hips to heels, come back, high plank, downward facing dog. Good job, yogis. You did great with that one. All right. One more breath here. Take a deep breath. And on your inhale, right leg high, step it through, planting down and coming into low lunge. And take a moment right here in your low lunge. Reconnecting with breath. Turbo dogs. Twisted turbo dogs will get you. One more here. And then come on up. And you can have your block. This is a great place for your block. Right to the side on your right hand. Opening up to the side. Feeling the stretch. Coming back to center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale up. Exhale, planting your hands, tucking your toes, coming into modified pyramid. So your stance is a little bit wider than normal pyramid. You might want to step it up a little bit too, again, to what feels best for you. And just melt over that front foot. Your back heel might still be lifted. Your front knee might have a bit of a bend in it. And just allow yourself to feel here. One more breath. And then bend that front knee. We're coming into high lunge. Find this a solid state here. Find your strength. You got this. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hands to heart, bring your hands to your hips. And then gently step it up. Inhale, extend mountain. Exhale, into chair. Turn towards you for this. Sinking your hips back, like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Your hands can be overhead, or if that's too much for your shoulders, your hands can be at heart center. Just for a breath. And then we're going to come into eagle. So right arm under left. Then finding stability on that right leg, sending energy down through that right leg, lifting that left leg up and over, again to your degree. You can always drop that toe down for additional stability. Lifting elbows to shoulders, sinking down just a bit further. One more breath here. And then exhale, unwind. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with the right foot into high lunge. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale. Exhale, planting your hands, coming into modified pyramid. Kind of doing everything in reverse on this side. Melting through. One more breath here. And then go ahead and drop that back knee down. Coming into runners and coming into low lunge. Arms overhead. Exhale, back bend. Opening your heart. Inhale up. You want to use your block on this side. Your left arm up. Right arm up and overhead. Stretching into that side. Inhale, come back through. Coming into low lunge just for a moment. Tucking your toes, stepping forward. Forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands at heart center, extended mountain. Hands at heart center coming into chair. You can also have your hands overhead, whatever serves you best. And as we come into eagle, left arm under right. Finding your drishti. Finding your stability on that left leg. Bring your right leg up and over. Lifting elbows to shoulders. Squeezing everything together into the center line. Sitting down, sinking just a bit further. One more breath here. Unwind everything. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, and take your flow. Or meet in downward facing dog. You can always skip a flow. From here, inhale your right leg high, step it through into warrior one. I'm going to switch to this side so I don't lose you. Also have your block ready to go. But first find a really grounded warrior one. So start with your feet before you come up. Front foot pointing forward, solidly planted, knee over ankle. Your back leg is a bit shorter stance than you would take in your warrior two. Back foot is fully on the mat, stepping through about 10 o'clock. And then from here, you're lengthening forward, and your shoulders and hips start to square off. I don't know that our bodies are designed to ever fully get there, but that is our energetic goal. Start to move forward. Arms overhead as we find our strength. We reconnect with how we ground in, how we connect in with the earth. We find stability, and then we grow tall, facing whatever obstacles we might find in our path, knowing we can address and manage anything that comes our way. Let's take a breath here. And then we're going to take eagle arms. So right arm under left. And if this doesn't work for you, it hurts your shoulders, hurts your arms, you can always go and just cross over, holding each shoulder. First inhale, gazing up. And then exhale, humble your warrior with eagle arms. Keeping that right hip so it doesn't go out to the side, to the right side. You're keeping it tucked in. Right hip back, left hip forward. Gazing towards your foot. One more breath here. You've got it. You're doing great. One more breath. And then release your arms and come on up to warrior two. So finding your warrior two, front foot pointing towards the top of the mat. Back foot is parallel towards your mat, lengthening forward, torso directly in the center, gazing forward. Strong arms, reaching out. One more breath here. And then bringing that right elbow to your right knee, up and over for extended side angle. First, reaching tall. Then if it serves you, finding a half bind. You don't have to do the half bind. No. Finding half bind, or whatever arm variation is best for you. Stop. Enough. Sorry. Holding one more breath here. One more breath. Oliver wants you to hold it, yes, one more breath, but we won't do that. And then we're going to come into, from extended side angle into half moon. So I recommend your block, and you're going to put your block right out in front. You gently start to walk up, coming into your half moon. Your hand can be on your hip, and I'm out of camera. So coming into half moon. This is a really expansive asana. Using that block to bring the earth up towards you, so you can keep your torso more parallel. Your leg is parallel with your mat, reaching out, energy out through that back heel. And then you can always bring that arm up. But lots of energy out all of the limbs of your body. One more breath here. You can either stay here, or if you want to revolve your half moon, you can do that by shifting. First, almost through either like a needle or a modified warrior three. Shifting with your left hand on the block, and then opening up. Modified half moon, or revolved half moon. Holding here. You got this. One more breath. Not an easy transition. And then go ahead and plant both hands down, stepping back, coming into runner's lunge. Just for a moment here. And then go ahead and drop that knee down. You can move the block to the side. Bring that left arm next to your foot, opening up, easy twist. Take a breath here. And then planting that hand back, step it back, high plank, and take your flow or meet in downward facing dog. And then move to the other side. You all are doing great. In downward facing dog, take a breath, inhale, heels up. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, heels up. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale your left leg high. Three-legged dog. Bring it through into warrior one. Remembering all those cues for warrior one. Finding your solid, firm warrior one first. Inhale, arms up. Eagle arms, left under right. Or just grasping shoulder to shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, humble your warrior. And breathe. Showing gratitude for our health, for what we have, for the sun. Whatever we find that we have some gratitude for can be very beneficial. Inhale, rise all the way up, warrior two. And finding a moment to reconnect with breath, to realign. Remember what you're letting go of or releasing. Coming into extended side angle, lengthening long. Remember not to drop into, but lengthening up and out of. And if you wish to do a half bind, bringing that around, opening your chest up, gaze up. One more breath here. And then coming into half moon. So grabbing that block, setting it down, readjusting your feet, stepping up just a bit. Hand can come to your hip as you come into balance for half moon. Sending energy down, engaging that kneecap of your standing foot, activating your core, using those glutes, opening, stacking your shoulders, opening your arm if that serves you. Finding one more breath here. And then bringing that hand back down. Starting to revolve. You may readjust using the floor. Shifting your block. Bring your left hand to the left back to come into the revolved half moon. Find a breath here. You got this. Bringing both hands down to the mat, moving the block, stepping back. First into runner's lunge. Then dropping that knee down into low lunge. Planting that right hand down. Opening up, easy twist. Good work, yogis. And then bringing that back down, stepping back into high plank and taking your flow or meeting in downward facing dog. And go ahead and take a break here. If you want to come into child's pose, grab some water, reconnect with your breath, whatever that looks like for you. Just take a moment and breathe. In whatever position you are, you're going to come all the way onto your bellies. We're going to do a few back strengtheners. So come all the way down, left cheek to the mat, arms down by your side, and just relax for a moment. Letting everything go. And first we're going to take a cobra. So zip up your legs, feet, tops of the feet to the mat, bringing your arms, hands down by your low ribs, elbows working their way towards one another, forehead to the mat, hips into the mat, tops of feet into the mat. So your legs are engaged, your kneecaps are actually off the mat. And then inhale, lift your chest up, breathe here. Gaze is forward, isn't cranking up, gaze is just forward. Elbows pressing in. One more breath here. Can you lift a little higher? Exhale down, right cheek to the mat, everything relax. something just super yogi. So arms overhead. Your gaze is going to stay down. Your arms are going to come by your ears. Your legs can be either hip or mat width apart. And take an inhale and breathe, and exhale, do nothing. And then on your next inhale, bring everything up. Again, gaze is down. Your arms are by your ears, toes are up, legs are up. From your hips all the way through your toes. One more breath. Can you lengthen a little bit more? Exhale everything down, left cheek to the mat, and breathe. The last one we'll do is modified locust. So your feet are together, and if that hurts, it doesn't work for your hips. Your feet can be hips width apart. Otherwise, your feet are together like in cobra. Arms interlaced, or if you have a towel or a belt or something like that, you can use that. Or you can just grasp elbow to elbow as well. Take a breath and breathe into the mat and do nothing for 1. And then on your inhale, just bring your chest up. So send your fists back towards your heels. So inhale, bring up the upper part of your body. Breathe here for 1 breath. And then on your next inhale, bring your legs up. 1 more. Exhale everything back down. Press back into child's pose. Releasing your lower back. And then come back through tabletop. Press back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. Step it through, coming into low lunge. And here in low lunge, we're going to walk it out to the side of the mat, coming into lounging lizard. So here, your foot might be actually a little bit more diagonal, and it could be a bit off mat a bit. You can stay up here, more elevated, or if you want to come down to your forearms, you can do that too. Again, listening to your body, what works best for you. One more breath into here. And then come back up. And now you're going to toe heel that foot all the way to the other side of your mat, so towards the left, your left hand, and you're going to drop the knee down towards your right hand, and now you're in half pigeon. And if half pigeon does not work for you, feel free to take any other hip opener, or if you have that block or pillow and that works, to put underneath that hip, or other modifications that you do with half pigeon. Feel free to do that as well. Take a breath here, first before you melt over that foot, front foot. Breathe into this, and then exhale down and over, surrendering into half pigeon. Let everything go. Relax into this hip opener. Couple more breaths here on this side. And gently come back up. Coming back into downward facing dog. Maybe walking out your dog. Just noticing how different your legs feel from side to side. Having done one side, not the other yet. Inhale, left leg high. Bringing it through. Coming into low lunge on the left side. Then walking it out. Your left foot out to the side. Coming into lounging lizard. Again, your version of lounging lizard. Just for a moment. Feeling your breath. Move into any spaces you're holding on to tension. And then gently coming back up and walking that left foot all the way over to the right side of your mat. And then gently letting that left knee, right knee, drop down to the left hand. It's a twister. And coming into half pigeon. Setting up any adjustments you need to make here. Bringing into any props that you like to have for half pigeon. First inhale. And then letting yourself surrender and melt over that front leg. Whew. I've been doing a lot of yard work, so I'm feeling it half pigeon today. And nothing should hurt or pinch, and if it does, come back out of this pose and find something else, or maybe you just need to come out of it a little bit, or if you have any tingling sensations or anything like that, but nothing should hurt or pinch. Two more breaths here. And then gently come back up out of here. Coming back into downward facing dog. Walking your hands back into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to come into Malasana squat. I use a block for Malasana squat because of my knees. If you don't need it, you don't need to use it. We won't be here for that long. Giving our hips lots of love today. Lots of things into reconnecting, realigning, releasing for the new moon. Breathing into the space. You've got one more breath here. Plant your hands down, coming out of Malasana on a wide leg, probably wider than normal. Bring them in just a little bit so you're more underneath your hips. Forward fold, and if you're able to, coming into a gorilla forward fold. So you're going to bring your hands underneath your feet, releasing everything. That's not accessible to you. You can also bring your hands around the back of your knees. Releasing your neck down, just for a breath. Take one more breath here. Really let anything else go. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then gently just come into a seated position. And slowly roll down all the way to the back, to your backs. You can keep your knees bent. We're going to use those in a minute. Got a little bit more work to do. Bring your right knee up and over. So you're in a crossed leg position. Right arm underneath. So you're in an eagle. We're going to do eagle crunches. So bring your legs up like you're in a chair. So that's an eagle crunch. And then extend it out. And in. That's 2. And 3. And 4. 5. 7. You got 3 more on this side. 8. 9. 10. Good job. Unwind everything. Do some windshield wipers with your legs. Arms just relaxed. And center your right foot. Left up and over. Coming into like a chair. Left arm underneath your right. Or just grab elbows. Bring everything in. Extend it out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Good job, y'all. Okay, windshield wiper those out. So make sure you can feel the edges of the mat with the edges of your feet. We're going to be setting that up for our next supine IT band stretch twist. So do this just for a moment or 2. And then drop your legs to the right. And you can stay just like this, or if you want a little bit more of intensity, bring your right foot up and over that left knee. And you're not pressing down. This is just real gentle. Gravity is doing the work. Your arms can be out in a T. And this is providing a little extra stretch along that left side IT band. And release that, finding the sides of your mat again. Windshield wiper a couple times. And then release everything to the left. And again, if you want a little bit more, bringing that left foot up and over that right knee. Again, not in any kind of pressure or pushing down. Just a light, gentle, allowing gravity to do its work. Your arms can be out to the sides. Unhook that, come back up. Bring your knees into you. Do some spinal rolls. He's ready for Shavasana. We're almost there. Come all the way up. Do some spinal rolls up, or just come over to the side and come on up that way. I'll face you for this part. Do some Janu Shavasana, so separate leg stretching. Right leg out. Left solar foot into your right foot. Sorry, fix my hair quick. And from here, making sure you can feel both sits bones on the mat. Maybe you shift a little bit. Inhale everything up. Twist towards that foot. Exhale over. Bending your knee as much as you need to, so you can bring that knee toward your forehead. And maybe you're grabbing your shin or your foot. Just for a breath here. Making sure that left shoulder's working its way towards the floor. Inhale, come back up. Extending that left leg long, right foot in. Inhale, extend up. Torso towards that foot. Over, bending that knee toward your forehead. Dropping that right shoulder towards the floor. Inhale, come all the way back up. Bringing both feet out. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold, keeping a flat back, so chest lifted, Paschimottanasana. So your knees still bent to your degree, and maybe you're grabbing your shins or your feet. Inhaling forward, gaze forward, chest lifted. Then you can release your hands, release your head towards your knees, just for a breath. Exhale, roll all the way back down. We'll do one last supine twist before we come into Shavasana. So bringing your right knee in, crossing it over, gazing over your right shoulder. You all did great work today. Had a couple challenging flows in there. You all did wonderfully. Inhale, come back through center. Extending that right leg long. Bring your left knee in, giving a little squeeze. Centering over the right. Gaze towards the left. Bring that knee back towards center. And if you want to bring both knees in for a final self-hug, bring all that great energy you built today and extending it long. I recommended some pillows or a bolster or some blankets rolled up. If you want to take a supported Shavasana, bringing that right behind your sacrum here, or if you want it under your knees, or you can just take a non-supported, like a traditional Shavasana, you can do that too. And just lying back, letting everything go. Remembering and releasing anything that doesn't serve you, letting it go with the new moon, expectations, the norm, what we thought would be, uncertainty, things that are making us anxious, the unknown. We make space for opportunities, for miracles, places for gratitude, for the world to surprise us. And during this new moon, allow this to reconnect with your heart. Allow it to realign with your purpose and release stress and self-judgment so that you can set powerful intentions for the next phase of our moon. And as we conclude class tonight, you can stay in Shavasana, or if you wish to join me in seated, you could do that too. Please keep your gaze, eyes quiet. Bring your hands in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. And I just want to thank you for joining me on your mat for our new moon flow. And and sharing your gifts with me and finding ways to release, reconnect, and realign. Continue to do that throughout the rest of this month. Namaste.